Crypto bubbles is in blood. Look at this weekly setup based on the top 100 coins in the space, except of Hype, Staple, CC. These are the three coins that are doing well when you look at the top 100 coins in the space against Bitcoin. No wonder, looking at the fear and greed index, we are at extreme fear. Look at this 14. Yesterday was 14, and now is 14. So today, what I want us to establish is this: where is the market gonna head to from now on? How should we position ourselves from now onward? Where are the different levels that Bitcoin might go to? And what can we do, or what should we do to mitigate our losses? The reason why I want us to focus on this aspect is because you all know that Bitcoin is the alpha and Bitcoin moves the entire crypto market. So if we focus on Bitcoin, we can easily know what our outcome will do. And when we see any rally from now on, we can, know, or we can, let me say, predict, or predict exactly where, not like exactly, but look at some key levels based on market structure, where we should expect the market to react, from those key areas, or those key levels. I don't want to use the word predict, because predict is gonna mean like, oh, okay, this is what is gonna happen, and if it happens, that. So let's look at the key levels, where if Bitcoin goes to those levels, let's see how Bitcoin will react. And we're gonna look at gold and silver. Let's see whether it's time for us to take that gold and silver trade. I told you guys that we're gonna trade gold and silver, and we're gonna start trading gold and silver when we start seeing major retracement. And we're gonna look at some other altcoins as well, like Ethereum, Solana, and others that maybe you guys are going to share with me. But that's what I want us to take a look at today. Is simple, clean, and forward, straightforward. No hype, no gamble, no predictions. I don't want to base my analysis on predictions. I'm not here to give you signals. I'm here to talk market structure, because market structure is boss. And if you understand the structure now, whether we are in an uptrend, downtrend, or just ranging, you will know what to do next. So let's dive straight away to the video. And if you're new here, you are welcome. If you are a returning subscriber, you are welcome. Let's dive straight to the video. Okay. Now, this is a fear and greed index for sure. What I want us to begin with is Bitcoin, of course. And I want us to, first of all, establish where we are based on the weekly setup. Last time we talked about Bitcoin still being bullish, or Bitcoin being bullish on the weekly setup and the 4 hour setup. Let's see whether it is the same, scenario, if Bitcoin is still bullish on the weekly setup and also the daily setup. Now, on the weekly setup, I would say to an extent we are at a major support zone. So it's now 50-50. I'm not gonna say this was the low, this was the high. I would say that we are at a level that if we lose this level, then I think we're gonna lose the level anyways. We're gonna lose the level, but if we do lose the level, then we need to see quick reaction. I think it should be from $65,000. We need to see quick reaction from 70 to $65,000. We need to see quick reaction back to reclaim structure. Now, how how is the structure of Bitcoin looking like, or how does it look like? You can see here we have formed the first low, the first lower high, right? Is it going to be the second lower low, then the next low is the second lower high also? So maybe we know expect some sort of pullback here, and this level will become the next lower high. Then this zone here will become the first lower low or second lower low. If we have to look at based on this, so this low high, this low high, and that low down. Before we now take it to the upside. So if this is the first drop, then second drop, maybe the third drop is coming. That might take us down to about 65,000 or $70,000, but I'm looking at $65,000. I'm gonna explain to you guys why I'm looking at that price point. You know, so if we look carefully where the move started, you're gonna see that this zone actually initiated that move. This whole movement, yeah. Ever since price dropped down to this level around $48,000 for Bitcoin, we haven't seen price got back there. Now, after price made this move, there was an attempt, but price didn't really do anything much. Price stays within this range. So from here to this level, to this zone, or to the high of Bitcoin, we haven't seen price, retest these levels here. So because we are here, we made this drop and we break structure. This was a major structure that we break, on this time frame. We should expect price to continue. Or if price is not going to continue, then price must reclaim this structure and stay above at least $100,000. So if we stays above 100K, then that's when we can look at Bitcoin um to be bullish again. For now, even though, like I would say, it's 50-50 bullish and bearish based on market structure. Until we take out this zone, I mean, market properly. So um, we understand where we are currently. I always want to establish the daily setup before we move forward. So this is a daily setup, and we don't want to see Bitcoin, stay below or break below any candle or any weekly candle close below this zone. If we see any weekly candle close below this zone, then we are going straight down here to around $65,000 for Bitcoin. That's what I'm looking at based on market structure and previous price action. So if we are now looking at, or if we are looking at these zones now, all these levels now, and saying to ourselves, Bitcoin is gonna go to 65,000. The question you should be asking yourself also is this: what will invalidate that movement? Like, what will make you look at Bitcoin to be bullish again? I just explained that we need to see Bitcoin reclaim this level 100 and above 100,000 is good, but we need to see a full candle close above that level, right? So this is a zone I already marked, and we could break below. Now we should expect price to retest. Okay, the next possible move that I'm looking at here is for price to recover this vector candle here, this red vector candle, or at least take half of the candle. Half of the candle will take us to about $82,000 or $81,000 price point, right? So if you see Bitcoin reject this zone, 81, let's say from 80 to $82,000, then be rest assured that we might easily drop more further downward, like further downward. But on the other hand, we might still recover all of this vector candle and stay below it is $6,000. So we can still recover all of this candle, right? It's possible, and stays below the $6,000. But it wouldn't be sufficient for us to say, okay, we are back bullish. If we want to start like we want to like start looking at any consideration to be bullish again, the first thing we need to see Bitcoin do is reclaim the 90,000 price point. So if Bitcoin reclaim the $90,000 price point, that's when we can start considering the possibilities of Bitcoin going back to 94K. And after 94K, then we can start looking at now 100K. And after 100K, then okay, we are we are back in the structure, right? So we now have changed character, and price is pointing to the upside. So this is what I'm looking at based on higher time frame, right? The weekly setup. And if we look at the daily setup, I think it's gonna be the same way, the same game here. You see, it's the same thing. Break of structure, yeah. Price came back to this zone, yeah. We need to see price hold. Well, the daily time frame can give us more clarity. Yeah, it can give us more clarity. Why? You can see clearly that if we are to take out this zone, we can like price can easily reclaim this vector candle here, this first one. But we need to see price recover all of this vector candle and stay above the POC, and this will take us straight away to about $89,000. So if we see Bitcoin do this right this week, then it's gonna be a good thing. I I don't think it's gonna happen. Why? I think if we see like the amount of liquidity or the amount of demand and supply in the zone, Bitcoin cannot just go straight up there, except there's huge volume in the market that will cause the price of Bitcoin to suddenly move drastically to the upside. Until we see that huge volume, I'm not gonna lie to you, that Bitcoin is not gonna straight like go straight up there. It's not gonna be easy. It's possible, but not easy. Except there's huge volume coming in the market, that is going to cause the price of Bitcoin to move like that drastically to the upside. One thing I want to look at here as well is volume, right? The volume here is not that significant, even though we are seeing, like you can see this from this dip here, it was accompanied by a huge volume, right? But after that, the volume start dropping. You see this one dropping, this one dropping. We need to see volume step back in, like this one here. We need to see volume step back in, and from there we can um we can see more, or we can it can be more confirmation that, or it will be more confirmation that Bitcoin is actually getting ready to make the next move to the upside. Another thing I want to show you guys here is the trend dealer. This trend dealer, yeah. Provided we are still let me, I want to zoom it so you see clearly. Provided we are still like in this zone here, we need to see the trend dealer make its way back in within this range. Provided we are out of this range, this Bollinger Band here, I don't think we are going up anytime soon. We need to see um price or this make its way to the upside like this, before we start considering the price of Bitcoin being sustainable again, or have any chances to go more further to the upside, right? But for now, it's dangerous. It's dangerous to like take any long trades and hold it for like ever. That's why if say you want to have to buy Bitcoin right now, it has to be based on like our 3 days cycle. So every week there's a 3 days cycle. There's 3 days that the market is bullish and 3 days that the market is bearish. It could be 2 days bullish, 2 days bearish, then the rest is consolidation. So if you understand what time we are in that session, for now I think we are in the recovery stage, which is like I would say after this huge dip, recovery to at least half of this move. Like let's say right up to, as I mentioned, $82,000 or $81,000. If we see that recovery there, all right, throughout the week, if we see price get to this area throughout the week and it's not able to break and close above the $90,000 price point, then there's high chances that by the end of the today, like this week, we might see Bitcoin go straight to 70K or about $65,000. That's my thesis this week, and it's based on what I just explained to you guys. You know, now I spend a lot of time talking about Bitcoin because Bitcoin is actually the alpha in the game. Bitcoin gives me coins, but Bitcoin helps me to trade altcoins. It helps me to understand the trend of the market, the sentiment of the market. You know, and if you follow the same route, or if you apply the same strategy, you are going to be doing well in the market. And what I pair against Bitcoin is USDT. Okay, I want to see USDT dominance, how it looks like, because USDT dominance is kind of like the opposite side of Bitcoin. So if dominance is showing bullish, then Bitcoin should be bearish. If Bitcoin is showing bearish, then dominance should be um bullish. Now, I look at dominance more on the higher time frame, not lower time frame, like the weekly and the daily time frame. Based on the weekly setup, look at what happened with Bitcoin. We saw that the huge weekly candle to the upside, right? And this is the same thing with USD dominance. So going now to the daily time frame and looking at previous price action, let's see whether we are still in structure based on previous price action. Let's see. I'm going to I'm gonna focus this on the weekly setup. Let's base this analysis on the weekly setup. Already, like I marked this zone. I think that was last week. I told you guys that we might see dominance go right up to 8%. Now, this vector candle here has been recovered. This one, we still have the other vector here. This other one to be recovered. So if we have managed to recover this one here, there's high chances we can still recover this one up here, which is going to take us to about 8% USD dominance. So looking at these possibilities, I'm gonna be careful with my altcoins. I'm not gonna behave as if okay, this is the bottom for Bitcoin. I'm gonna look at this as okay, this is the halfway of the downward trend for Bitcoin. And if I see Bitcoin rejecting key areas based on what I showed you guys, I'm going to start looking at ways to get out from altcoins. We can see some altcoins go up like 18%, 30%, 20%. This week we can see some alt, not all of the altcoin, but the strong ones, they're gonna do well. Right. So when you see that altcoin doing well, use that opportunity to cash out your profit and wait for Bitcoin to react, and also for USD dominance to react. If USD dominance is going to react positively, then you will need to be patient to allow price, like the price to get back below this level. But because we already break this level with high volume, you can see high volume on the weekly setup. I think we're going to continue after a minor pullback. So if it pulls back a little bit, we're going to continue to the upside. So that's why um m- I still believe, or I still think we can, or we are going to go more downward for Bitcoin, except something different is going to happen, that is going to change everything I'm saying here. But for now, this is what I'm looking at based on current price action. Now, having said all of this, we have seen the macro, like Bitcoin, US dominance. Let's see how Ethereum, Solana are reacting to the price of Bitcoin. We have looked at the price of Bitcoin and see, okay, Bitcoin is trying to recover somehow. Now let's go to Ethereum. Let's see, what is Ethereum doing. Is Ethereum reacting the same way as Bitcoin? Yeah, Ethereum is reacting the same way as Bitcoin, but the difference with Ethereum is that even though Ethereum has broken structure, it has come back straight to another key structure. And this is the structure we don't want to see Ethereum break. If Ethereum is gonna break this structure, hmm, it's still gonna be fine for the altcoin market. But there's something I think Ethereum is gonna do here based on the fair value gap style that I trade. So we might see another level drop down here, and this could mean divergence. It could happen not now. So this is why I think TA is very important, because TA can give you like it can give you an advance um and like advanced thoughts or advanced um plan. You can make, it can help you advance, like it can help you plan in advance. You know, watch might like to be able to prepare yourself for what might happen in the future. Yeah, that's what I wanted to say. At times, the words are not there, but it helps to prepare in advance. So if you look at price action and you anticipate certain moves and it happens in the future, you already know what to do. That's what I'm trying to say. It helps you plan in advance. Okay? Now, because we have a fair value gap here on the weekly setup and an order block, two other block here, I think that we might see another move for Ethereum down to about 1,950 or around 1,800 before continuation. Okay? Or we might see the move around, let's say, $2,000, all right, before continuation. Whatever is going to happen, this range from this, like if you see price make its way in this box, you are buying. right? Of course, not like buying like immediately. You're gonna drop down to like the daily time frame and the 4 hours time frame before you look at that, maybe an engulfing candle or a fair value gap, or maybe based on the volume profile, you see price at a value area low or rejecting the value area low multiple times on like the 4 hours time frame and the daily time frame. That could be an entry signal for you, right? But price getting into this zone is a good area to start looking for that buy opportunity, you know. So Ethereum, I think, is playing the same game as Bitcoin, even though it's still in structure. You can see if it left this zone here, break this structure and get back to another structure. So the structure above here is broken. And the next thing, like when price usually breaks structure, what price does is price, you know, retest structure. And I told you, I warned you guys in advance that this bullish engulfing candle is not good. When you see a bullish engulfing candle like this, taking out like about how many weeks week candle? One, two, three, four, five, six, 7, 8, 9 week candle. So this one candle took out this like what happened there for the past 9 weeks, right? So it was powerful to see this candle alone taking out all of this. This was bearish engulfing candle. Okay, now if Bitcoin is gonna recover and reclaim the key areas that I mentioned, Ethereum is gonna do the same thing. But for you to be more conservative, for you to be safe, what you can do is bring in like mark the get the midpoint of this candle, right? For price usually recover half of the candle. So wait for price to get to the middle part of this candle, and it's gonna be around 2,500. So if you see price rejecting at 2,500 multiple times, note that they wanna at least somehow continue with price down towards this area. Okay. Now, if we drop down to the daily setup, you can see that after this huge dip, how many days? One, two, three, four. Wow, 4 days dip. We might see price attempt half of the move today, then drop down a little bit, continue drop until we see price get to around this area before dropping down again to let's say $2,000 or maybe $1,900, depending on how price is going to or how far price is gonna go or when price get to this area. So guys, there's a lot to wait. Um, yeah, there's lots to do here, but you need to wait. So if you wait for let's say 1 or 2 days, 3 days, then you can get more clarity as to where the market is heading towards. But for now, I'll say that um this is just minor recovery and we still have some more downside to come in the future. And before that happens, you already know what you're gonna do, to prepare yourself for that. So Solana now, let's see. Solana went right down to about 95. Yeah, $95 dollars. I've been talking about this like ever. I told you guys that when price was still here, said Solana can easily go down to even 80, $90. I've talked about this multiple times. So if you didn't get me, yeah, that's your problem. Right? It's not my problem. But look at this vector candles here. The same thing, the same structure with Bitcoin. You can see if I bring the chart of Bitcoin here, you can see the same structure. You can see here, same structure. Solana, the same structure. Um, Ethereum, the same structure. You can see here. So I think for now, Solana might recover a little bit because if you look at the weekly setup, you can see. I think we're gonna come right down here. I think we're gonna come right down here to about $72 for Solana. Yeah. But before we see price do that, maybe we're gonna have some sort of recovery at least half of this move before continuation downward, or maybe recover full like the whole of this candle before dumping again to the downside. But whatever the scenario or the situation is, we need to see like if we lose this zone here, then we are dropping down here around this area, this demand zone. Let me mark it for you so you see. So this zone is the area where um we might see price easily go to. If we're gonna lose this area here, then we are going right down here. Okay, so pay attention to that, guys. You are going to make a lot of profit if you pay attention to it. Now, let's see what gold and silver are doing. Let's see if we have a trade here for gold and silver. Yeah, this was the move that I was anticipating. Drop to this level, this liquidity here. Then from here, another drop down to about 55 or $54. But it's a little bit early to say that, because if we look at where we are right now, this huge vector candle, I think today or this week we are going to recover at least half of this move. Yeah, this vector candle, or maybe all of this vector candle is going to be recovered. But price is not going to go to make the next high yet. I don't think it's going to happen. I think what will happen if price is going to go to make the next high is price is going to build the contract down here, like move sideways for like 1, 2, 3 days, or the rest of this week before continuing to the upside. Okay, but if price attempt half of this move and then fail, then there's high chances that price can build, and drop down to this level. Yeah, these key levels. Yeah, this key demand and supply zone here for silver. You know, so yeah, there's still a long way to go for silver. But for today, let's see if there's a trade here for silver. Yeah, there's a trade for silver, actually, but the trade is gonna come after we must have broken this level here, right? This zone, at least on the daily time, on sorry, on the 1 hour time frame. Yeah, 1 hour time frame. But and there's something else that I think might be useful. So let's see. Yeah. Nothing else except um what I'm trying to show you right now. So if we see um let me see. I'm trying to understand where we are with the structure. The silver structure. Let's see. Okay, we made this huge move. This move to the up. This recovery to the upside came back and take out this low. This could be divergence here. No, it could be divergence. This area, right? So if this is divergence, then this move should at least take us change character, break this zone here, and if it breaks this zone somehow, we might see like a little bit of pullback there, then continuation, right? So you can buy this pullback. But for me, I think where we are right now, I can still buy. Like I can still drop down to the 5 minutes time frame to see what price is doing there, and based on this time frame, or if I'm buying, yeah, this time frame, then it will be like a tight stop loss. From what I'm seeing, yeah, right? You can see the structure is broken here on the 5 minutes time frame. We have been in an outtrend, and you can see it's broken here. So the next thing we should be looking at next is for silver to drop down a little bit. I think a little bit on this time frame, and maybe towards the key or the next key support level. Yeah, but I don't want to waste time on that. Let me see. Hello, I'm live. Okay, that was my wife calling. I have to pick up her call. The boss in the house. Anyways, so yeah, this is what I'm looking at for. Anyway, this is what I'm looking at Let me look at the trading chart. Let's see. I have two charts here, guys. Let me look at my trading. Let's go to the trading chart. We have looked at everything. Let's go to the trading chart. Let's see what we got here. Um, this is where I do my analysis on this chart. I can even bring in my indicators here. Let's see if they are aligning with what I'm saying. Um, the alpha trend. You can see. We have bearish engulfing candle here. So, a little bit tricky. Yeah, you know. So going now to this chart, let's see. Um, let's see if let's see if okay. Yeah. We have fair value gap here. See this zone, fair value gap here. I'm not going to lie to you. This is the fair value gap zone that I want to see price reject. So if I see, let me drop down to the 1 hour time frame. I think, yeah. So based on this, the 4 hours time frame, I want to see this fair value gap here taken out. So if price is going to do something like this, take out this fair value gap here, right? At least this one. And if it fails, if price fails to take out that fair value gap completely, right? Then I know that the next target will continue downwards for silver, right? And it can still happen this way. Can drop to like around this area. Yeah. Why am I saying so? Because this was the candle based on the alpha trend that took that caused um this candle here to drop. So this candle actually, this red candle, this small, I call it the little man candle or indecisive candle, it actually caused this huge move to the downside. Right. So if we are gonna see any reversal, it should be within this range, within this other block. Yeah. Okay. And if we get to this area and I see multiple rejection there on the 1 hour time frame, but if price get here, at least based on the 4 hours time frame for silver, I'm talking about silver, I want to wait and see how price is reacting. Let's say on the 15-minute setup. So going now to the 15-minute setup, let's see where this lead us. Where? Let's see. Yeah, you can see it led us right up there. Let me see. Yeah, you can see it led us right up there. And it's also in confluence with the better moving average. You can see. Yeah. So if I'm gonna take any move here, like for example, let's say I want to buy this based on the 15 minutes time frame. Like I want to take a trade today. Where I need to take that trade is here for silver. I have my fair value gap zone already marked. If I see the silver get to the if I see the price of silver like do something like this, drop down here. I don't want it to take all of this fair value gap. Then I see like some sort of rejection there. Boom, I'm buying, and then from there I know my target is gonna be up there, right up there where I mark those areas, based on the alpha trend, you know. So this this indicator or this chart, I use it only when I wanna trade, right? If I wanna take that entry, or if I've already analyzed the market and I want to take that trade, I already know what I'm looking for, and I already know what I don't want to see, or where I'm gonna get out from the market if the price goes against me. Now this fair value gap, they are not like buy entry or signals. No, there are areas where I wait to see how price will react. And these areas are aligned with the way I trade. So if you see price doing something like this, right? I look at this, you can see, not like based on the 50 minutes time frame, but all of this is based on the 4 hours time frame. So my analysis, is not based on the 50 minutes time frame. The 50 minute time frame is where I take the trade. So if I'm gonna see any dip, yeah, like let's say somewhere half of this move, I'm gonna go down to the 50 minutes time frame. From there, I'm gonna see whether it aligns with this zone here. So if it aligns with this zone here, that's when I'm going to be um looking at how the market will react around that area. Okay. The next thing you can do also here, based on the way I trade, is bring in the volume profile. Right? Bringing in the volume profile here will create a range. So this is a range that price has created based on this volume profile. If we see price weak out, like get to this zone here, it means price is gonna leave the value area low, right? Come to this fair value gap area. We need to see immediate buyback. So immediate buyback towards this area, and that immediate buyback is gonna be accompanied by a minor, let's say, push down here, and this is where I'm buying. My stop loss is just down here. Then I take the right to the upside to this level here, this level. So this is a trade I'm looking at for gold. But if say gold actually do something like this, no, silver, not gold, silver. If silver does something like this up, right? I'm expecting price now to come back to this other fair value gap here, this one here, right? From here, boom, and go take it right to the upside. Or another thing you should be looking at is where we have this POC. And guys, you want to see a full candle close and stay there. Want to see buyback from this area. So like quick pullback, quick pullback, and from there wow, buyers are stepping in around this area. So you can now place a trade. That's where I buy most of my I buy most of my spots if I want to trade spot. Right now I'm in Asta. I'm holding Asta. I'm holding not Asta, which one again? Tau, Bitensor, and Virtual Protocol. Those are the three altcoins I'm holding. I am holding Solana. I bought more Solana. I'm gonna be buying Asta, Solana. In between, I'm changing or like I'm flipping Virtual Protocol and Metis DAO. So after this move now to the upside recovery, I'm gonna wait to see which other coins are gonna recover alongside Bitcoin. Then from there I can decide to flip to meme coin or another altcoin to maximize more profit. And I need to see Bitcoin, be bullish and maintaining those key levels before I'm gonna be like before I'm gonna either decide to stay in that coin or get out from the coin. So in essence, Bitcoin actually gives me that signal. I'm gonna always remind you guys and remind myself about this. Bitcoin is the alpha. Bitcoin is the king. Bitcoin gives you the direction. If Bitcoin is bullish, all coins are bullish. If Bitcoin is bearish, all coins are bearish. If Bitcoin is bullish, then buy all coins that move alongside Bitcoin. Pair those all coins against Bitcoin. You can use crypto bubbles for that. It's gonna help you to understand um which coin has trend against Bitcoin. If you go to the daily time frame, you can see easily for today which coins have trend against Bitcoin. You can see the ones in green bubbles have trend against Bitcoin. Like stable is up 29%, River 21%, MYX is up 23%, Morpho 5.4%, M 17%, Virtual 3%, HBAR 3%, Jupiter. So you can see the coins that are doing well against Bitcoin. These are coins that have strength. They always when Bitcoin is dropping, they drop like crazy. And when Bitcoin starts recovering, they recover like crazy alongside Bitcoin. So you need to understand how you position yourself when it comes to these altcoins. Now, let's see which other coins we have here that we can take advantage of. My camera is freezing. I can see that I'm freezing my camera. Let me just take off my camera here. So let me see. Wow, my bit rate is crazy. I think that's why my camera is freezing. Let me see if I can if I can reduce my bit rate or increase it. Yeah, let me increase my bit rate to a little bit 9K. By the time I had 11 anyways. Let me see. Okay, I'm going to list off my camera. Maybe you're gonna give me some. Yeah, let me off my camera a little bit. We're gonna reduce the bit rate for now. So yeah, you can come to crypto. As I mentioned, you go to crypto bubbles. It's gonna help you understand what the market is doing, and from there, you're gonna see which coins are doing well against Bitcoin, and um chart the coins against Bitcoin. Look at the ones that have more strength for the day. Trade it, buy it for the whole day. You can go to the four. Let me go to the let me add the 4 hours time frame. 4 hours time frame on crypto bubbles. So you can see the 4 hours time frame and see which one has been doing well for the past 4 hours or for the past 1 hour. Right? You can see which one has been doing well against Bitcoin, particularly towards the end or towards the beginning of the US session. Right? So you can see it shows here that QNT is doing well towards the end of the like the market is gonna open soon in like 50 minutes. You can see hype is doing well, QNT is doing well, stable is doing well, Leo is doing well, H bar, like these coins you see here in green are doing well against Bitcoin on the 1 hour time frame. Now, if you look at the 4 hours time frame now, you see for the past 4 hours, these are the coins that have been doing well against Bitcoin for the past 4 hours. Okay, so if you see for the past 4 hours and the past 1 hour that the the same coins are the ones that are doing well against Bitcoin, that's when you can start looking at the chart of those coins to like look whether you can have an entry there. Like for example, QNT. Let's just go on and see what QNT is doing. Like from there we can see whether it's good to buy now. QNT. Let's see QNT. Yeah, you can see one is bullish. So looking at structure, this kind of a structure, if you go to our trading chart. Let's go to our trading chart. Let's check QNT. What's happening? Not loading yet. QNT. Hmm. What just happened here? Yeah, you see, the market want to open soon, and this is a signal that Bitcoin want to reverse a little bit. So I'm gonna come back here in a jiffy, but I want to show you guys something. I'm in a trade. I'm in a Solana trade. I think I should close my Solana trade before my experience is done. Anyway, let me first of all um go to QNT. You see, I'm not getting this now. What happened? Let me look for it. Yeah. Okay, this is QNT. So based on this now, you can see clearly that if I'm going to buy QNT, like, because it shows that it's bullish based on market structure is bullish. Let me go to the 1 hour time frame structure. So if I'm gonna take any trade, it's gonna be, yeah, like price is already there. You can see, yeah, this fair value gap, yeah. So whatever happens, I want to see price hold this area, this zone that price just created, or where price is. Price should hold this fair value gap here, this zone. It should stay above the alpha trend and stay above. And if I'm able to get an entry, yeah, okay, my TP is gonna be around this area here. So it's gonna be a quick one, a quick trade, or I can target this the better moving average here. This one, you know, anytime I see price hit it, I'm gonna cash out that profit. So this is gonna be a quick trade. If say you plan to take this trade, but you can drop down on the 15 minutes time frame. Yeah. So this is the zone you take the trade. You wait to see how price is gonna react. Yeah, and price can still come down here, and but you need to see quick buyback then towards this zone, right? You can still take the trade here because this also is half of this move, right? It's half of this move, you know. Yeah, let's get back to Bitcoin. I saw Bitcoin trying to do something here. Bitcoin is trying to hmm okay, you see, based on the 15 minutes time frame, Bitcoin has hit the alpha trend zone. Sorry, the bottom moving average zone. So we should expect some sort of pullback, at least back towards this 76 or 77, yeah. So 77 $1,000 for Bitcoin before continuation. Okay? Except except otherwise. And the otherwise do not mean we're gonna see a week out around this area, yeah. Week, then sudden drop. We will have more liquidity above price than below price. Right. So I think we might um easily say price. Let me just take off this. I think let me easily take off this. Let me just take off this so I can look for more fair value gap below price. Yeah, we don't have any. We don't have any. Okay, we have minor fair value gap here. So price can easily do something like this, yeah, for Bitcoin today, then continue to the upside. This could be the move for today. But let's do what we always do before the market is gonna open. Let's see what has been going on here. This is Asia. Asia started here around this area, yeah. UK, yeah, and UK took us back to the Asia high, right? And the UK have broken a little bit, like have gone a little bit upward Asia. So it means that we should be expecting US to either dump the market back or attempt to break Asia high. And if it fails to break Asia high, let's say around $78,000, then that's when we can expect price to drop drastically and maybe continue to go to the downside. Now, as I mentioned, let's bring in um our volume profile. And what I want to do with the volume profile is simple. I want to block it from this downward trend here, or from this um from this zone here to where price is. Okay. So if I zoom, you see that my stream will end. So if price is going to at least come around this area, it should stay above the value area. Yeah, it should stay above here, value area high at least. But if it breaks and come right down here, then it's not gonna be good. So where we are now, just draw the volume profile on your chart. If we see if you see price break and close above this zone, full candle, then pull back. If pull back, break and close below the POC, this middle point, which is gonna be 77, let's say $78,000, right? Breaks, if it breaks and if it stays above $78,000 for like if you reject that area for long or multiple times on the 15 minutes time frame, note that they are going to continue price to the outside. But if we break below here, right, and come around this zone, and price is not able to recover back and stay above the value area low, then note that we are going to continue more downward. But if price break below here and we see a huge buyback and price stays inside this volume profile range, like above the value area low, then you know that the target is going to be up there. Okay, so this is the game for today. Let's play it. Let's play it. Let's see how it's gonna go. Before we go there, 5 minutes. Let's look at gold quickly. Let's see what gold is doing quickly. Um, our trade for gold. Mm, if gold is going to lose this zone here, this zone, then it's not gonna be good for gold. Okay, so if say we're gonna see any downward trend for gold, this area should hold. If it's not able to hold, then we might see gold continue downward. But let's look at the structure here on the daily time frame. Let's see. Yeah, look at this. Wow, 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 wow. So I think we are gonna come downward for gold still. And this is exactly the zone I mentioned, guys. I talked about this zone. I think that was last week. See, we might easily week down to 4,400. I said this because of market structure. I look at this structure here because this was the only high demand and supply zone after this huge move to the upside. It was the main demand and supply zone, and the next demand and supply zone is this area here. So if we're gonna lose this zone, we can come straight down here, around the $3,000 price point. I think from here, gold can easily do something like this, you know, come down a little bit, come down from the divergence, then continue to the upside. That's what I'm looking at for gold. Okay, for like if we have to look at this based on the smaller time frame, let's say on 1 hour time frame to get a quick trade. Yeah, this is what we are looking at down up there, the target. So if we see any movement like rejection around this area, know that the target should be around the 5,300 right up to 5,400 price point. Yeah, a lot of stuff to look at today. Another coin that I'm already talk about it. Asta, I'm holding Asta. Asta is a buy for me. I got more Asta around this area here, and I'm gonna sell some of it. Based on this 1 hour time frame, I'm gonna sell it when I see price get to this zone here. Sell more because I think it's gonna drop down a little bit or continue. So like what I'm doing is I trade and then I buy more Asta. So Asta is what I'm accumulating more. I think there's a huge future for Asta. I'm gonna be buying also Tau. I bought some Tau. You know, yeah. So those are the coins I'm like looking at now this week. Maybe next week my mind will change. But Asta is always gonna be my main coin, that I'm looking at for this year. The rest is gonna be changing depending on market structure, how price is reacting to those key areas or key levels based on higher time frame analysis on weekly, daily, 4 hours. If I see that is bearish, then I'm out of those altcoins. If I see that is bullish, then I'm in those altcoins. I mean, when I say it's bullish, I mean Bitcoin. You know. So yeah, guys, that's the end of this video. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't yet subscribed. Join my community. The links are found below this video. If you're watching me on TikTok, follow me on YouTube. All right, guys. That's it for today. The reason why I took out of my video is because it was freezing. But I've I'm now, yeah, it should be fine now. Mm. It should be fine now. I haven't yet for my live stream. I think the next thing I need to do is just buy a new powerful laptop. Yeah, that's the next thing I need to do. Buy a new powerful laptop just for my streaming, my stream. You know. Yeah. All right, guys. That's it. Enjoy yourself and see you guys on Wednesday. I'm going live these days on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. All right, the next days are just gonna be for video upload, and that's it. You know, nothing more, nothing less. Actually, it's showing that my CPU usage is low, right? And my um my bit rate is high, but it's still okay, right? Because I can see that even though my bit rate is high, my CPU usage is low, and I can do live stream without like the moment I start showing my chart, that's when the problem is. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. It's crazy.